everyone, to week 20 of the Run Club. You're doing a great job. Look, if you're behind, just keep going. Don't worry about that. We all have things that get in the way, but pick up where we are now and just jump back into the race and just keep moving forward. You're going to do a great job at this. And so this quarter, we're studying God's great mercy. And in 2 Samuel, chapters 13 through 20, we see God's mercy even in the middle of the consequences. Have you ever built something with dominoes? And when you're building those things with dominoes, you have to be really careful not to topple any one of the dominoes, because if you topple one of them, the next one falls and the next one falls, and there's no stopping the domino effect, right? Each domino falls, it topples the next one, and that chain of events just keeps going and going. We can see this in relationships too. Maybe the first domino in a relationship is a harsh word or hidden sin. But once those dominoes start falling, even amongst forgiveness, consequences can still unfold. But God is merciful to us. Even when He allows the dominoes to fall, He hears our prayers and acts to comfort us and redeem us out of the ashes that we're creating. David doesn't just topple one domino. He keeps toppling them. He commits adultery with Bathsheba. Then David betrays Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, to the point of his death. The consequences of David's actions start cascading in his own life. His sons begin acting like him. Amnon rapes his own sister, David's daughter. Absalom murders Amnon, and Absalom betrays David then and takes over the kingdom. David leaves Jerusalem, and the Bible says he's barefoot and weeping. He was full of shame and guilt, and he couldn't stop the consequences and the dominoes from falling. But God doesn't leave and abandon David there. He brings friends who help him in the wilderness, and he hears and answers David's prayers. Ultimately, David gets the kingdom back, but only after facing the damage and rebuilding trust. In the New Testament, there's this beautiful story. It involves sin and consequences, but redemption. It's a story about Jesus and Peter. Peter denies even knowing Jesus 3 times. His best friend, Jesus is his best friend. It's his teacher who he's lived with for 3 years and who's about to be killed. And Peter denies him. And on the 3rd time, when Peter denies him, the rooster crows, and like David, Peter weeps bitterly. Peter's consequences were shame and guilt and this profound regret of what he was planning for in his future and what Jesus had for him in his future. And then in the midst of Jesus being killed, there's Peter left in his shame. But Jesus, in all his mercy, doesn't leave it there. The resurrected Jesus meets Peter on a beach, and it's there that Jesus reminds Peter not of his betrayal, but of his love for Jesus. Peter goes on to fulfill his calling that Jesus had for him of being a great apostle and leader of the church. So can I tell you, no matter how many dominoes might fall, no matter what sin and consequences you're facing, Jesus has the last word of who you are. You are not your last mistake. You are not your last bad choice. God is in all his mercy, will not abandon you. He has the last word on who you are, and he says you're redeemed and deeply loved. Have a good week, you all. Get back into the word and be known for love.